And I really don't want to see no more of his scandals. Ooh, this font tiny. This font is tiny. Oh, no, 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 no. Have I almost read this book ever? No. They look like don't fuck with them. Let's go ahead and get to the shopping. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today it is day 6, the penultimate day of my Welcome Back to BookTube week-long series where I film and post a video every single day until my birthday, which is tomorrow. So excited. And today we are doing my shop my shelves style of video for my November TBR. I have not picked a TBR. I haven't filmed one for you guys, obviously, but I definitely haven't even picked one in months. So I haven't spent a lot of touch time with my bookshelves. I hesitate to say I don't know what's over there, but really, like, I could use some alone time, some quality time with them. I do have some books that I am ready to haul for you guys. Hint, hint, videos coming soon, hint, hint. So those are on my TBR cart, or it shouldn't even be called my TBR cart. It should be called my new book cart, whatever at this point. I have a couple of packages I need to open with you guys. I'm going shopping tomorrow, so like all of that. If you want to see a lot of books that are not going to be in this video because these are on my shelves ready to go, those need to be unhauled. If you want to see that video, if you want to see more books, new books, unread books, book haul, shopping, all that fun stuff, definitely subscribe and come back tomorrow on my birthday because that's when we're going to be showing all those things. So unfortunately those are not going to be picked for my TBR. However, if you're unfamiliar with my style of TBR, I kind of estimate how many books I'm going to pick based off of my reading volume of the previous month or two. So I don't know off the top of my head because I haven't really been keeping up with that type of data, but I'm pretty sure for the month of like October, I think I finished maybe 4 books so far. The month before, I definitely finished 4 books. So I haven't been reading a ton. So with that, like, I should probably only I typically pick like half of the books that I know that I'm going to read. I typically pick half, but I feel like it's fair to go ahead and pick like 4 books, because if all of the books are highly anticipated, the month will not end until I finish these books, and it's just 4, then I know all the 4 books I'm going to read are going to be bangers. Like, I really cannot wait to read those books. So I feel like 4 is probably the number that I'm going to go for. Typically for my TBRs, I'm pretty successful. If I pick 6 books, I probably read 4 out of 6. If I pick 4, I'll probably read 3 out of 4, which is good enough for me. Okay, this is in school, but it's good enough for me. So I like those odds. So I think I'm going to go for 3 to 4 books. So I'm just gonna go along the shelves, pick up the books that are speaking to me, that are calling to me, that are interesting me, that are not new releases. Also, that's why I brought that up. Even though, or not new releases, but like books that I haven't hauled for you guys yet. Even if I only pick 3 or 4 books or whatever, and there's a book that I really, really, really want to read that is on my new book cart or that I haven't opened yet for you guys, that's still fair game. Obviously there are no rules to this, like you can read whatever you want whenever you want type of deal. So I pick fewer books than I think I'm going to read for my like making the commitment to it TBR, because I anticipate picking books that I didn't commit to as they call to me. If you're new here, that might not make as much sense, but if you're oldie but good, just explain it to them, sis. Okay, you'll see. Stick around, subscribe. You'll see what I'm talking about in my reading wrap-up, which should be coming soon. I don't do my reading wrap-ups until after the month ends, so all of the books that I finished in the month can be in that video. I don't want to miss nothing. But anywho, let's go ahead and get to the shopping. Okay, I apologize that I have to be so close, but my bed is like right behind here and like I can't move the camera anymore. So I decided I'm gonna start on the other end of my bookshelf because I normally start with the romances, and in like 3 seconds I have 6 romance books. I haven't even touched the other genres. So I'm gonna start over here on this side, which is truthfully like my lower volume read books. And these are thrillers. These are thrillers as well. And then underneath there, the last shelf that I'm not even gonna show are my nonfiction. They're my nonfiction books. The reason why I'm not going to show them is because there's literally like, I don't know, 6 books down there, and I don't put now. So like the last time I filmed this video, I decided not to put nonfiction books on my TBR because I typically don't read those like straight through or whatever. I just read like a few chapters here and there, and it's just, I hesitate to say more leisurely, but it's not like a consistent process or whatever. So I don't put those on my TBR. They're not eligible for the video. So let's look at these here. I finally read King of Ashes, y'all, while I was gone. I read King of Ashes. I was planning on reading it with Brendy's book club, but I didn't get around to it with them, so I read that by myself. It was cool. It was cool. It definitely kept me engaged. I liked the audiobook. I didn't particularly find it like super thrilling. The twist, I will say, like I might have seen it coming, but like I wouldn't even call it like a twist. Like a twist is like, oh shoot, like I did not get that from the book. But it was cool. Like, it's alright. Don't fight me over it. I liked it. I don't remember what I rated it. I think, check my Goodreads and my Storygraph and my Fable for what I rated it. I do not remember, but I liked it. It was cool. Don't fight me. Okay, so obviously that's not a contender. I already read All Sinners Bleed from him. I read that last summer, I think. Are any of these like really calling to me? I mentioned Female Rage. I mentioned Female Rage when I was at the physical therapist because I was talking about where is it? Never Lie. I was talking about Never Lie, and I was like, I love a good female rage, and I said that like kind of loud, and everyone looked at me like I was crazy. I was like, I meant in books. Like there are things I like in books that like I don't necessarily like agree with in real life, but I mentioned that one. And as far as I'm aware, this is a good female rage. Now the question is, do I want to commit to it? So I can pull the book, I can like the book, I can want to read the book, but is it like, will the month end without me reading it and I'm gonna be cool, or like is this something that I need to read like immediately? This has been on my TBR for a while. And you know what, I'm not gonna commit to it right now because there is a book that I have coming in the mail tomorrow that is a thriller, that is fast-paced, and that I do not want the month to end without me reading it. So I'm going to pick that one over this one. It's not going to be on the TBR officially, but if I want that vibe, which I do, I want it from that book over this book. So I'm going to put this one back. You know what? I'm thinking about You Will Never Be Me by Jessie Sutano. I have had this book. I think I ended up getting this for my last year's birthday. And this is about like a social media influencer who helps another girl who's starting out with her social media influencer journey, and she ends up like kind of trying to like copy her swag and like do what she does and be who she is type of deal. And she's like, you're never gonna be me, boo. Like, it's a thriller. So I don't know, I'm interested. I'm gonna pull this as a maybe, and it seems pretty short. It seems like a pretty quick, easy read. I'm gonna pull it. Also, when I say I'm gonna pull it, that means it's going to go in the maybe stack, like the contender stack at the end of the video. Stay tuned because I will narrow it down to that 3 or 4 books. All right, this next show has more thrillers or horror. I don't have a lot of horror, so I just stuff it in here as well. Something that would be appropriate to read right now is The Diary of Blood by S.T. Gibson. This is about one of the wives of Dracula or something. Yeah, one of the wives of Dracula. This will be good, but you know what? If I want to read this, I should probably read this month in October, and I think I will, because it is the 26th today. So I need to film this, edit it, and get it up to date. I'm gonna read this month while it is still spooky season, because I think this is a horror. Obviously it's about Dracula. I've never read a vampire book. I have one on my shelf here in the YA fantasy thriller section, but I haven't read it yet. So that is something I don't want to read, but I'm going to read it in the month of October, so it don't count. These I have read, all of these. All of my Tiffany D. Jackson I have read. Hope you guys can see these. All of my Tiffany D. Jackson books I've read except for Grown. But what I'm thinking is, I don't know if I'm going to get the Scammer or not. I am going to get the Scammer. I am going to get it. I don't know if I'm going to pick it up tomorrow when I go to the bookstore. But y'all, Charnel was like, you need to read that. You need to read a book. Who else read it? Nike, she read that book. I saw her reaction or whatever. I saw Chanel's reaction as well, and I'm so intrigued. Like, I cannot wait. So while I have not read Grown, if I'm gonna pick up a Tiffany D, like, it's gonna be the Scammer, like, immediately. So that was not gonna get picked. This is not gonna get picked. The Scammer might, definitely. Like, I feel like that needs to be on my TBR in some way, even if I get it from the library. I don't know. Somebody said something to me about it, and I was like, that might be a library book. But I also already have, I have a Tiffany D, collection. That's why, because they're all paperback. I have paperback books, and most books that come out initially, they come out in hardcover the first year. The second year, they come out in paperback. And I don't want to wait a year to read the Scammer. I want to read it now, but I do not want to buy a hardback when I have nothing but paperback for Tiffany D. So I'm going to rent it from the library or read it on my Kindle and read it that way. And then I will buy the physical book in paperback when it comes out. All right, so far from the thrillers, all I have is this one. Now we're going to go over here to the fantasy and historical fiction. It's up here. So let's go. Here I am again. These are historical fiction, and then this section here is also historical fiction. So let's just start over here because it's easier. I recently read, oh, and you see my fall time decor. It's so cute. Got these little pumpkins. I got a bag of them from Five Below for, I think, probably $5. They're really cute. So let's move you out of the way so I can tell you about The Great Man. I just read The Great Man. I talked about it in one of the videos that I posted this week, and I really liked it. I really, really, really liked it. I think this is the author's debut. I would definitely read more from her. It is lit fic, y'all, and lit fic normally doesn't flow for me. This one did, and I think it did because I was interested and invested in the characters. I love a character-driven novel. I just discovered this about myself as a reader. So now that I know that, like, and that is how the writer seems to have, like, her writing style or whatever, I think I would definitely read more from her. And especially if it is historical fiction, like, I thought it was wonderful. This book is definitely feeling like it needs to be on my TBR immediately. This is Zeal by Morgan Jenkins. This is the first book that I've read from her, and I actually have a nonfiction from her. This will be my undoing. I have a nonfiction from her. I have not read it yet, and I've had it for a really long time. But anyways, I just watched a video from Kiona, Chocolate Covered Pages, and she like sold the heck out of this book to me. I already owned it, so I obviously already had interest in it, but like she shot it to the top of my TBR because I need to know. Like, it just seems to deal with a lot of themes that I have interest in that speak to me in books. It says, New York Times bestselling author of This Will Be My Undoing and Call Baby returns with an epic multi-generational novel that illuminates the legacy of slavery and the power of romantic love. That doesn't specifically speak to me because if I'm reading historical fiction by a Black author, like, it probably deals with race, it probably deals with enslaved people, it probably deals with, multi-generational things. Like, that's not uncommon in Black historical fiction. So, like, what is it about the book specifically that calls to me? And honestly, I cannot remember. Something about, like, the drama of, like, the man like looking for a woman, and then some other woman like coming along and like trying to sink her claws into him or whatever, but he's like in love with someone else or something. Don't quote me. I don't remember. I don't know what this book is about. I don't remember why I picked it up, but it is at the top of my list. I need to know. I need to know. It is a little bit longer. Let's see how many pages. It's almost 400 pages. $3.99. Literally just under 400 pages. So I'm interested. This is I'm putting it on a maybe, but I'm pretty sure that's the one that one's gonna make the cut. Let's see. Also in my hiatus, I read Harlem Rhapsody. This was really hyped. It was cool. Like, it was cool. If I pick a this book, unfortunately, like, it was cool. Like I said, it was cool. Don't fight me. If I have a book in mind or like a vibe in mind, if I want to read a historical fiction, this book isn't one that I would jump to. If I want to read about like actual historical figures and like what their life was like, this wouldn't specifically, I wouldn't jump to recommend this one either. If I wanted to read about like historical romance, this definitely wouldn't jump to the list for me. Like, it doesn't satisfy anything for me specifically. It was a cool book. Honestly, I could have done without reading it. Like, that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't fight me. The Fable Cloak I've had for a while. I almost read it once. I think it might have been on a TBR once, but I just didn't get to it. Oh, I read this, The Filling Station. I really liked it. I rated this one 4 stars by Vanessa Miller, and I am very glad that I gave this author another chance. I read The Light on Halsey Street by her first, and that one, I did a reading vlog on that. It was not my favorite. It was not my favorite, but I did say that I would read something else from her, and I did. I read this, and I really, really liked it. This is about the Tulsa massacres. That's pretty much all I'm gonna say. It's about the Tulsa massacres, and I liked it. I'm pretty sure I rated that one 4 stars. So I kind of have interest in reading The American Queen now. Unsure if I'm going to, because like I said, I want to pick Zeal. Sorry, I want to pick Zeal first. So I don't think I really want to oversaturate myself with the historical fiction, unless it is historical romance, which is more so over here. So let's go here. Actually, I don't have. So the JJ McAvoy is, I would say, they're like Regency romance books. I've read this one, Aphrodite and the Duke. These spicy, girl. Okay, these spicy. I haven't read these other two. They really haven't totally been on my radar. And if I'm gonna read, I don't know. I'll pull the second one. I'll pull Hather. This is book 2, yeah? I sure hope it is. I hate when they don't have like which book is which on here. I feel like it is the second one though. I feel like Hather is the second one. Let me see. Nope, Verity and the Forbidden Suitor is next. So I'm gonna pull that as a maybe. We'll see. Love Song of W.E.B. Du Bois. I'm not ready to read because I just read Harlem Rhapsody, like I said, and that was literally all about that man. And I really don't want to see no more of his scandals. I don't want to see it right now. What else do I have? Nothing else is really calling to me. I don't need to pull out all the books that I'm not really interested in. Nothing else that I haven't read is calling to me right now. So while we can see it, whoops, let's look at these. These are some fantasy books. Okay, so I have Two Twisted Crowns and One Dark Window. I think about these books so often, it's not even funny. I would even reread them. I rated those so highly. I read them last spooky season. I love these Evan Winter books. You can't really see in the frame, but these Evan Winter books, I read the first one. I haven't read the second one. I'm not ready to read the next one. Invisible Life of Adderley Rue. Love. I've already read that. Speaking of V.E. Schwab, these books I hauled on my last birthday as well. Still haven't read them. Okay. Still have not read those books. But it is, now that I'm doing this, Shop My Shelves, it's back on my radar. Okay, is it gonna make the cut this time? I don't think so, but I will not forget about you. I won't forget about you, baby girl. So let's go ahead and move on to some fantasy. Okay, so I said I was going to talk about fantasy, but just really quick here, I have some sci-fi books. Of the ones that I have not yet read, I have Loneliness and Company. I've talked about this book a little bit with you guys before. I think it has been on my TBR officially once before, but I never actually got around to reading it. I am still not ready to commit to that, so that's not gonna do. Then the only other book, surprisingly, that I haven't read is Kindred by Octavia Butler. I still haven't. Ooh, this font tiny. This font is tiny. Oh, no. I think I want to read Zeal more than I want to read Kindred. So I'm gonna put that back. And then all the other books on the shelf, believe it or not, I've read all of those. So those are not contenders. But these guys here, these are not YA. These are adult fantasy books, I believe. This book, The City You Became by N.K. Jemisin, I ain't gonna hold you. This might not make it. Or I might move this downstairs to like books that I don't necessarily, I'm not jumping up and down to read right away, but I'm not ready to unhaul, and I like owning them. Does that make sense? Like, I like owning it. I want the other book, the second book in this, 'cause I'm pretty sure it's a duology. I want the second one, but I just can't justify getting the second one if I haven't read the first one. And I know it is a fantasy, and I don't know how high or like entry level of fantasy it is. So I'm gonna hold off on like unhauling it or getting the second one. Like, this is gonna go in limbo downstairs whenever I make that switch. Immoral Dark. I don't know. I heard this one kind of starts off slow and like, I don't know where this is going on. I'm gonna feel about it, but at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of the girlies like this one. And I do want to read it, but what I'm thinking, I might read this before the end of the month. This is going on my before the end of the month unofficial TBR, because I think I know the second book is coming out in November. So we'll see about this for October, not this month. I saw one of you guys talking about The House Under the Cerulean Sea in a recent video today. Actually, I was watching it, and it made me remember that I even had this book. Have I almost read this book ever? No. I hear it's like a really like heartwarming, like restore your faith in humanity type of book. I'm just not interested right now. I started this book last year, never finished it. I want to read it because I want to read something by LaSalle Sandberry. I was just talking about Delicious Monsters, and I think that's Penelope Douglas. Just kidding. No, Delicious Monsters is by her. Daughters of the Merciful Deep is Penelope Douglas, right? I'm not ready to read this. I'm not ready to let it go either. Blood Debts. This is also about vampires. Black vampires. Is it a Dark Academia? Nah. Nah, it's not Dark Academia. It says it's a thrilling contemporary fantasy about magic, family, and justice. And there's a second book called Blood Justice. And you know what calls me about this freaking book is, have I almost read this book ever? No. They look like, don't fuck with them. Like, don't mess with them. And I love that. They're like, oh no, you don't mess with what's the name of this family? Trudeau. Don't mess with the Trudeaus, bro. Like, mess around and find out. So I like that. And this book has tiny font as well, which is not my favorite. But I don't know. Maybe. This has been on my TBR for a hot minute. put it on there. I'm gonna put it on there. I feel like this book, the way that this book is like, the vibes it's giving and what it's making me think and feel, it's making me think and feel like Blood at the Root, which I read this last year. It's tracking my face, y'all, but I read this last year. I love this. I also have the second book, Bones at the Crossroads. I want to read this. I want to read this. But the thing about it is, am I gonna be wanting to read both? You feel me? Like, if this one is making me feel like this one, or like the first book, like, do I want to read both of these? They even have like similar covers, like the color and everything. Like, don't want to go. The question is, I guess, do I want to get into a new world, or do I want to see what the old one is talking about now? Okay, we'll figure it out. I'm gonna pull both of these and we'll figure it out at the end. Legendborn and bookmarked. If you know, you know. I'm not about to read those. And then Skin of the Sea and Soul of the Deep I've had for a long time. The covers are gorgeous. They're stunning. I'm not ready to get rid of them. I'm not ready to read them yet either. Those are probably like the oldest books on my TBR. The rest of these I have read. Oh, just kidding. I'm covering up some of the ones I haven't read. Eddie Davenport. I said I'm not gonna talk about this anymore. I'm not gonna. The Gilded Ones. Not ready to read those. I've read all of it. Actually, I haven't read Cinderella is Dead. I don't know. I've read these two from Caitlin Baker and I like those. I haven't read Cinderella is Dead and I'm not ready to. So let's go ahead and move to my contemporary fiction. This is contemporary fiction and lit fic. This is becoming like one of my most read genres lately. Contemporary and historical fiction. So let's go look at those. Okay. Of these, I've read these 3 books. These are summer books that I'm not ready to read yet. It's not really in the time. I don't even know if these are like gonna stay up here. They might go into purgatory as well. I don't think I've read An American Marriage. No, I haven't read American Marriage. I read another book by Tayari Jones. I read Silver Sparrow. This is the one that I have read from her. I wrote that years and years ago. And I did like it. I don't remember nothing about it, but I do remember that I did like it. I'm not ready to read this one yet. Death of the Author. I just talked about this in my bookshelf scavenger hunt. This is one that I forgot that I had. This is, I think it's sci-fi, honestly. I'm pretty sure this is sci-fi, so this probably needs to go over yonder. Yeah, it says a disabled Nigerian American woman pens a wildly successful sci-fi novel, but as her fame rises, she loses control of the narrative. A surprisingly cutting yet heartfelt drama about art and love, identity and connection, and ultimately what makes us human. This is a story unlike anything you've read before. So I'm gonna move this over to my very barren sci-fi shelf where it belongs. I'm not ready to read this yet. I'm not ready to read Sweetness in the Skin. I'm not ready to read The Wedding People. These 2 I've read. I'm not ready to read that either. Going on to this shelf, I just saw And So I Roar. I think I brought The Girl with the Louding Voice with me when I went to Florida to visit my mom and to go to Disney. I did not read it. I think I read maybe 50 pages of a book the entire time that I was there. I was there for like 2 weeks. So I really didn't read too much then. But I hear this one is like transformational. I don't think I'm ready to read it yet. Something that I do want to read though is Eleanor Oliphant Is Completely Fine. And I pulled this another time. This has been on my spirit for so long. I'm gonna pull it. I'm gonna pull that. Whoops, let me not throw it and bend it up and all types of stuff. So I want to pull that. The rest of these I'm not ready to read yet. So let's go down here. The Conditions of Will. That was on my last time my TBR. I didn't get to it. I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it, I promise. Let's see. I've read these. Well, I haven't read this one. This one is like a collection of like short stories. This one's actually gonna go to purgatory as well. I don't really cozily read a book full of short stories very often, so that one's gonna end up going to purgatory whenever I get to redoing my shelves. This book, Normal People by Sally Rooney, I ended up getting this for my bookshelf or work library, whatever. I haven't read it yet. Speaking of which, I need y'all's help, okay? Because y'all see what I read, right? Y'all see the vibes. This ain't for everybody, and it's definitely not specifically for the workplace. So I don't have a ton of books that I'm like, okay, these should go on the work library bookshelves, right? Something that's work appropriate, something that doesn't have like a bunch of spice, a lot of cussing, a lot of like specific to like the Black experience types of books. Because I'm gonna be so honest with you, I am the only Black woman in the entire building. There's probably no more than 10 women entire, like as a whole in the building. There is maybe 10 Black people in the building. Like the majority of the people that I work with are white men. So I want everybody to read, right? I want everybody to be able to see themselves in stories. So obviously I pick books that I see myself in. I'm a Black woman, so I have a lot of books about the Black experience, about the woman experience, about family, you know what I mean? Like stuff that speaks to me in my life and my story. I don't have a ton that is like, for me anyways, that's work appropriate and like that could, like, anybody could pick up and read. I do have a few books. Like I think I bought The Miserable Life of Addie LaRue. I put that on there. I put this on there. What else? I have some nonfiction, of course. I have some professional type books on there. So if you guys know of any books that and I would love to I think I have one book on there that is by a Black author. I cannot remember what it is. I started to put the Rage of Dragons on there, but that's not finished. Like the series is not finished. But I would feel comfortable putting that book on there, and it is something I think that they would like. I think they read fantasy, they read sci-fi. There's a series, I put the Poppy War in there, the whole series, that is gone. Like I don't know if they took it and it's like, ooh, I'm taking this home and it's mine, or like they're taking it home and they're like reading it. I think they're allowed to keep the books if they want, but it's kind of like a take a book, keep a book type of deal, or give a book type of deal. But like I ain't seeing nobody give a book. So like, where did that series go? I know for certain that I got it, but apparently they like the Poppy War. As another, I got Jade City on for that. So like I'm feeling like they like the nonfiction and they like the sci-fi and the fantasy. And those are, sci-fi and fantasy is one of my like least lower read genres, and I do have some contemporary fiction that I feel like speaks to the human experience, which I feel like this one does. So if you guys have any recommendations for something that might go with a work library for the type of audience that I just described, leave those recommendations in the comments down below. Some of the books I have on there I hadn't read, right? I hadn't read them, but from what I know, what I've seen, they seem safe enough, right? And so far nobody has come to me and was like, what is this book doing on here? So I think I'm doing all right. So if you guys have any recs for your work library, for the type of audience that I described, definitely please leave them down in the comments below. But for me, am I ready to read Normal People? No. Actually, the rest of these I don't think I'm ready to read either. So let's go over here to the romance. Finally, Finally. I haven't even read a straight romance book in like, not straight like heterosexual. I mean like no crossover, right? Like just a pure romance book. I haven't read one of those in a hot minute, I feel like. So let's see what's over here. All of the books, all the romance books that I have, with the exception of this tiny little cubby down here, all of these are Black romance books, and I have some like a tiny bit of urban romance, but for the most part it's just black romance, girl. So yes, these are my romance books. A lot of these, this is probably my most read like genre. The quantity of books from the genre that I've read is the most. So I've read all of these. I haven't read these two. I'll pull out the ones that I haven't read. Okay, those, these, this, and this. Okay, those are the ones that I haven't read. Of the ones that I haven't read, are any of them jumping out at me as like, you need to read this immediately before the end of November? No. Frankly, no, they are not. So I'm just gonna go ahead and stuff those right back on in there. Hopefully you guys could see those a little bit, or like the titles of them. I'm so sorry, but yeah, this shelf right here, like these are books that I want to keep, that I like, that I want to get to eventually, but it's just, they're like filler. That sounds kind of mean, but they're kind of like filler books. There's nothing that I'm like, oh, this might change my life. The only one I'm thinking of that might like really hit me is like No Ordinary Love, because this is by the same author as When I Think of You, and I really like this book. It was kind of infuriating and like irritating. I rated it 4.5 because it just felt so real. I like the author's storytelling. I like that the Wanda Wise narrated it. I like her as an actress. I don't know who narrates this one or whatever. It's a short book. I don't know. I like Maya Ariel, and I was really interested in seeing like her next book, and I'm glad that it's out, and you know, I have it with me, but I don't think I'm ready to read it just yet. So next I have these books. These Jasmine Guillory's are more of like filler books that they're probably never going to actually make it on my TBR. I have these Brittany Cherries. I've read all of them except for The Gravity of Us. I haven't read that one yet. This one is available on my Libby right now. Once Upon a Time in Dollywood. This one is available right now. It says, a playwright must grapple with her difficult year and writer's block while falling for the single dad living next door in his emotional debut from Ashley Jordan. Ooh, I love a single dad. This is cute. It says, love is a roller coaster. Ain't it though? I'll pull this. That seems like more than just a romance. And I've heard really good things about that one. I have read all of these except for Take a Hike. All the Mimi Graces. I haven't read Take a Hike, and I'm not ready to. This one I haven't read. I think this is like, has like some magical realism in it, and They Live Happily Ever After by Therese Bahari. Yeah, this has like some magical realism in it. I don't really want to read that right now. Like, that book's not really jumping out to me. I feel like that one's gonna come to me whenever it comes to me. I just will go over here because you can kind of see these. These are all my Alexandria House. I've read all of these except for Memphis. I'm not ready to read Memphis. This is a dark romance. I talked about that in my last Shop My Shelves. I'm not ready to read it. One that I have had on my mind lately is 90s Love in Cali by Masterpiece. I read something by her. Was it Bow Down? Hilarious. That was Unhinged. And this is obviously really freaking short. I would like to read this. I would like to read this. This is under 100 pages. It's 98 pages. And I really, look at the cover. If that doesn't give 90s, I don't know what does. So I really want to read this. I think I'll probably read it like this week, but I'm just gonna I'm gonna pull it just in case, because I want to read that like really soon. let's see. This To the Moon series, I love, I adore, I cherish. If my house was on fire and I needed to grab books, I would definitely grab all of these, like every single one of them. These will not be burnt up. I love those. But I'm not going to commit to putting any of these on my TBR right now. I have read all of Natasha Bishop's except for Where We Found Our Passion. I think this was on my Kindle, what's on my Kindle video. I thought I had read this. I didn't. I had read Where We Found Our Heart. I read this one. I read the first two, but the one that I was thinking of, it was Where We Found Our Heart. This one I haven't read yet. I'm not ready to read it. I know what type of time this is going to be on. This isn't the vibe that I'm looking for right now. It gives like, it's romance, obviously. It's funny. I think this one is like second chance romance. And it is like, I guess second chance is always kind of mysterious, like, hey, what happened to you, like, what's the story there type of deal. And I'm just like, I don't care to read that right now. The rest of these I have read, and I've been thinking about Losing Control lately. The book, I've been thinking about Losing Control, and I freaking really liked it. I love the cover. Controversial, but I love the cover. I know it's getting another cover because she's getting traditionally published. Yes, that's why. She's getting traditionally published. She's going to be in bookstores, so probably, obviously, she cannot keep this book cover. So I'm so glad that I got it. Will I get the other one? Probably not. I'm not one to like get a book that I already have because it came out in a new cover, typically. However, I have Demon's Dream, as do most of us. I love the new cover a little bit more than this cover. So, and this one looks pristine because I read it on KU. I didn't read it physically, but I needed the physical book because I freaking loved it. I've been thinking about Diana Come Here. If you know, you know. I've been thinking about that for so long. Now, I am a demon girly, not a smoke girly. Let me know down below. You're a demon girly or you're a smoke girly? Everybody seems to be a smoke girly. And it might be because Diana Come Here. It might be because of that, which I can't disagree. I don't even have a demon quote. I don't have a demon quote. But Diana Come Here? Okay. Don't pay me any attention. Okay, so like, I don't know. I kind of want to reread this. I kind of want to reread this. It's not going on my TBR, but now that I'm like revisiting it and I'm like opening up the pages and I'm like getting little glimpses of like what's going on, like this was such a fun book. If you haven't read Demon's Dream, definitely give it a try, give it a chance. Let's go to the next shelves. It's just 2 more shelves and then we'll be good to go, and then we will wrap up with my actual picks. All right, this is my YA romance shelf. I have been really wanting to read some of these lately. Oh, this is one that I did read. I read Not About a Boy. This doesn't really belong on the YA. It belongs on YA. It doesn't really belong on the romance at all. I think this gives, if you've read Thirsty by Jazz Hammonds, that is on my top shelf. You guys probably don't see that book very often because it's on my top shelf. I don't show my top shelf in my Shop My Shelves because I read all those, because those are my favorite 5-star, can't get them off my mind, off my heart, off my spirit books. So you don't see those very often. But this one reminds me of that. The writing style, the female main character does, not what they're dealing with at all, but like kind of their characteristics, like not their approach to life, but they're similar. They remind me of each other. And I really liked it. I didn't love it like I thought I would, but I did really like this book. What I think of the books down here, I'm going to tell you, I don't think I'm going to pick anything. The one that is calling to me the most is Charming as a Verb right now. This one, it looks so like fall timey. I feel like it's going to be pretty good with banter. Seems like there's like a strong female character. Love that, especially in a YA book, because they tend to not make as goofy decisions as, yeah. So of all of the ones that I haven't read, Charming as a Verb is probably the one that I want to read the most right now. But just because I want to read it the most doesn't mean that like it's jumping out to me that like the month can't end unless I finish it. So that one's not gonna be a pick. But let's go over here. Oh, actually, that's probably it, girl, because I done read all of these. I haven't read The Inheritance. This is a visual poem. I don't think I talked about this one with you guys yet. It's a visual poem by Elizabeth Azevedo. And I remember Kayla's Bookish Vibes talked about Elizabeth Azevedo as one of her like her auto-buy authors now. And I didn't even realize this was by her. I knew I had it, but I didn't realize it was by her. It's a visual poem, so it's not like a book. But if you can see, like, it's not a book. It's literally a poem. So this will probably take like 20 minutes to read. So I feel like it's just cheating to put that on the TBR. But yeah, that's it, y'all. Oh, actually, girl, I'm so rude. I literally forgot about the shelf of non-Black romance books. I've read all of the Kenny Ryans. I read all of these. I'm not looking to reread them. So there's that. Oh, except for this one. I haven't read that one, but this one's going into purgatory as well. Of these down here, am I itching to read any of them? No. So let's gather up all the books that I pulled and figure out which ones are actually going to make it to my TBR. Okay, these are all the books that are on the maybe list. Honestly, this is like one of the smaller stacks that I've had for my maybes. And part of that is because I have a lot of books that are on my to be hauled shelf, my TBH shelf or TBH cart. And I do really want to read a lot of those. So these ones is pretty short. Let's go ahead and start with the ones that I know are for sure going to be on the TBR for November. And that is going to be Zeal by Morgan Jenkins. I'm so intrigued. And I'm really, really in my historical fiction baggie right now. So I really would love to read this. And I really would love to report back to you guys about that. Another one that I feel like it's been on my mind way too much to not make it on the TBR officially, and that is going to be Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. I need to read this. I need to read this. I feel like now those are the two that I'm just like, yes, if I needed to only pick two and end the video here, I would. But let's see what else we have. All right, so I think I picked this book just for the sake of picking a romance. Am I really, really itching to read it? No, I don't think I'm really looking to read like a spicy, sexy, like that's all type of romance right now. Like, if anything, I need there to be like a little bit more to it, which I feel like Once Upon a Time in Dollywood, I think this one is going to give that. And like I said, I do have this on my Libby right now, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to pull this one. This might get read at the end of October. I don't know if I'll wait till November, but I'll let you guys know. Then 97 Cali, I really need to read that. Like, it's so, I feel like it's going to be fabulous because I loved the book by Masterpiece. It was so unhinged. It was funny. This is short. It's 90s vibes. It's romance. It's urban. Like, what's not to like? So I think that one's definitely going to get picked. Now, You Will Never Be Me. I do have interest in reading this. Is it something like the month will not end without me reading it? No. So I'm going to put this one to the side. Then I have Blood Debts and I have Bones at the Crossroads. Surprisingly, as I'm looking at these, as I'm picking them up, I feel like the one that I am more interested in reading is Blood Debts, because I already know like what's in this this world, what the book is about, what the characters are like, you know what I mean? Because this is the sequel. I read the first book, like I said, last year. This one I don't know as much, and it's vampires. And I'm not normally a vampire girly, but like considering it's spooky season, I want to know. And I kind of want to be able to like compare these two, honestly, or the series rather, because I think they're both duologies. Well, no, this is going to be a trilogy. This is a duology. So I'm interested in seeing this one, even though this one is dark academia, and I love dark academia. I love the first book. It was such a fun ride. Yeah, I won't commit to it, but will I still read it if I want to? Yes. This one, do I want to commit to it? Now that I mention it, do I want to commit to it? No. I don't want to commit to it. These are going to be on the forefront of my mind, though. They're on the forefront. I was so close to picking a fantasy, y'all. I was so close. Dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. So, to wrap up, I picked 4 books, which is great. Normally, I overdo it for how many I say I'm going to pick, but I actually picked 4 books. And these ones, I feel like I will definitely get to. I will definitely get to Zeal. I will definitely get to Eleanor Oliphant. I will definitely get to Once Upon a Time in Dollywood. This is going to be my romance, and this one is going to be read in 10 minutes. So this is my TBR for November, you guys. This long ass video, and I picked 4 books, one of which is under 100 pages. I'm so sorry, y'all. Don't hate me. But welcome to my brain. Welcome to how I pick my books. Welcome to the life in the mind of a mood reader. If you like this style of video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will continue doing them for you guys. I feel like you like them. I feel like you like my ADHD ramblings. And I like when you guys like recommend books for me to do reading vlogs about, especially like books that I didn't pick, and then obviously definitely the books that I did pick. I love seeing that you guys are interested in seeing like my feedback and my reading experience whilst I'm reading them. So if that's something that you want to see from any of the books that I picked, leave it down in the comments below. If you're new here and you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so. I would love for you to join the library. Other than that, I will see you guys in my next video tomorrow for my birthday. Bye.